Hello everybody, it's me, TONIK TZW, and this tagline on this screen, don't mess with me. It's not about messing with me personally, it's a little message to people just to leave the ego out of the game. And I'll explain a little bit as we get into this, but as you can see from the holding card, it does turn into rather a nice game for me. But I'm not alone in this one. Unfortunately, I didn't capture the start screen. I'm in with Chizz, who you all probably know as Graham from the live streams. Very good player, ex-Royal Navy submariner, I believe. So he spent a lot of time underwater, not just in World of Warships Legends, but also in real life. And we are here in a gruesome twosome destroyer and a cruiser, and we are going to play some legends, but we are going to get wailed on very heavily indeed, because as you'll see, we only have one other ship coming this way with us. I think it's the Montana, and the rest of the team decide to head across to Charlie Cap, leaving B open. And I know that quite often I would normally try and go in and steal B Cap, but on this map you tend to get a heavy push through Alpha Cap by red team. So moving across here, what I'm hoping to do is to try and spot and then stop that push on this flank, or at least to slow it down, and thereby give all the guys across on Charlie Cap the opportunity to push, take theirs, and then come over through Bravo, and support us here. We are going to end up against 5 of the 8 ships in this game, I believe, because it is a short lobby. Somebody obviously had crossplay turned off because it was all PlayStation gamers. And that gentleman there, Gouden Meer, which is Dutch for Golden Sea, or should I say it's more like a golden shower with it being in the Colbert, because that thing has a lot of guns, they fire very fast, and it can make a mess out of anything. But we'll come back to him a little bit later. Everybody in this game has their favourite ships. Mine is, or one of mine, is the Daring. I absolutely love it. I just wish it didn't cost so many credits to play at Legendary tier, because I would be absolutely coining it in with this ship. Unfortunately, what we gain in credits on a match, we almost always completely pay out in service and costs and things like that, because it is so expensive to play at Legendary tier, which leaves me wondering how so many players are able to consistently potato at Legendary tier. I'm going to potato here with these torpedoes because I'm thinking that Awami is going to sail and turn tight out of that corner, or the other guy. But we have the cap, and I'm telling Chizz that it's a little bit uncomfortable here for me right now, because there's a lot of ships coming around this corner, and I am going to be in the middle of it. I'm going to try and push out a little bit and spot. I don't have any support from Chizz because of where he's positioned, but we do have the battleship behind us, who is going to get absolutely railed. So now is the time to get the heck out of dodge. There we go. If only I'd been a little bit more patient there, we could have started the damage ticking, because what I like about the Daring with the Legendary main battery reload mod on it is once you get that damage tick in, your main battery reload very quickly comes down. It gets absolutely crazy. And I have got another game that I played with Chizz where we had an absolutely smashing time of it, and I'll probably put that one up perhaps alongside this one so you can watch them both together. It was, in fact, I think I'm just going to call it gangbanging, because it literally was a hail of bullets from this boat the entire game. It was phenomenal. But enough about that match. Let's get into this one. We're looking for these torpedoes reloading. The seconds are ticking down. We pop the smoke. That's going to force the Montana into a turn. So we're going to put a few torpedoes out there just in case he decides to pick up the speed. But now he is turning. We are now going to take a few cap resets off this guy. There we go. We're still spotted by the Awami. We get a double reset, 625 damage. That is it. And now we are going to kite away. We're going to leave the big boys to fight it out. Now, Chizz, having pushed around that corner, is a little bit stuck, I think, is the best way to put it, because we have got at least 3 battleships pushing through the cap now, and we've got 1 cruiser, the Colbert, on the bottom end of the cap. And it's going to get nasty because I think the GK started heading across this way too. We have barely done anything. Now the great thing to do would be to get rid of that Colbert, because all he's going to do is spam HE, light the guys on fire, and then continue to light them on fire. And unfortunately, I don't get those shots out in time to reset the cap. But the Montana was looking for me. So yeah, that wasn't a very comfortable position, but he's fired his guns, so I can pop my smoke. He is going to stay spotted for a little while, so we will see if we can get a fire on that guy, or 3, and see what we can do to start the damage ticking. He's going to let that one roll, and I'm a bit stuck for targets because I was the one that was spotting him. The GK is coming around the corner and Chizz is bowing to him, but he's not going to be able to get away from this one. But it is not the GK that is going to take him out. It is going to be the Colbert. Now the Colbert obviously thinks he is a dog with 2 dicks, because directly after he kills Chizz, he messaged him and said words to the effect of "don't mess with me," or "don't play with me." In other words, you know, I'm awesome, you're shit, and I beat you, blah de blah, blah blah blah. Because that's all it was, a load of hot air. So the man obviously has a very fast sports car and a very small penis. I don't want to talk about him in a derogatory way, but I'm doing it anyway. This GK is very clever. Honestly, he outturns so many torpedoes. It is unbelievable. And the Awami as well. And I know there's a way that they can tell when I'm targeting them. And there is a little indicator pops up in the right-hand corner of the screen that A says they're spotted, then says they're targeted, and then it'll show a little number 1, I think, if they're... Oh, does it show the number 1 or just the targeted symbol? But obviously, as soon as I turn off the targeting of the torpedoes, they know that I've likely to launched. So that's why sometimes I like to light up a ship and see how they react. See if they throw a turn in, and if they don't throw a turn in, then we might go ahead with the launch. But the Awami turned out of the second set that I put out there. We fired 2 singles before that, and they do both catch him on the flank, which was quite nice. The Colbert is the guy that I'm worried about. As I said, he's fast, he's got a lot of guns, they fire very quickly, and it is a DD hunter. I think it's, well, is it a French Worcester? Without the radar, that's probably as best as I can put it. But here we go. We're keeping these guys spotted. We've got a torpedo reload coming up. We've locked on to the Grosse Kurfürst again. And I just want to make sure that I have enough distance between me and that Colbert that at range his dispersion might be a little bit rubbish. But there we go. As soon as I indicated my torpedoes on to that GK, he starts turning. Now we have 5 ships left in the game currently, and I'm trying to bide my time and keep these guys spotted. I know it's a slow game. There's not a lot of damage there at the moment, 82,000. We're going to add another 100,000 damage to that before the game is over. But it's not coming just yet. But the GK turned away from that torpedo launch, and that's like, I'm like, geez, can I just land one on this guy? You know, one hit, one flood, would be quite nice. But yeah, he's avoided those ones as well. And I'm trying to let the guys who were cross on Charlie Cap and who came through Bravo Cap to push in and support me, but they've gone like the long way round. It would have been brilliant for them to cut through the centre of Bravo Cap and come and you know, to the north side where these guys are, but I'm feeling very much out on my own at the moment. But here we go. Are we finally going to be able to land some torpedoes on this Grosser Kerr first and sink him? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's not a dev strike, is it? So we'll go on guns. I know the Colbert's looking for me. I know firing my guns is going to get me spotted, so I'm going to start moving straight away, but I'm not having anybody take this kill from me. I'm having it. They know where I am now, and I don't care, because that Colbert has turned his attention straight onto me, and there's a fire on the GK, and I can pop my smoke, drop my detection, and move away from that Colbert. This is the way that I like to play the Darren, a little bit of shoot and scoot. It's an old artillery adage for putting out some fire and then getting out of the firing position before the enemy are able to put fire onto that position and take you out. So there we go, we're up to a whisker under 150,000 damage. And I was saying to Chizz, I know it's a Colbert, but I don't want to leave the game this close to 150k and not actually pass it. But if you look down at the bottom right hand corner, you'll see there that we've got an 8% main battery reload reduction because we've passed 120,000 damage, and we've also got a kill, which means we do 5% more damage on our guns. And running Grotzman's Smart at the moment, I do 11.25% HE damage more than the standard Daring. So with that 5%, we got 16.25% extra HE damage. What we don't have is the hit point pool of the Colbert. What we don't have is support, because those guys have spent the majority of the time sailing along the south edge of the map coming across. They're really taking their time getting here. And I'm just holding the fort. The Colbert is the last man. I am absolutely sure that he wants me. So we're going to pop some shots again. I forget how fast he is, and I don't lead that first set very well, but we do knock his rudder out. We get a fire. We pick up a high caliber as we break 150k. And I'm like, okay, I've done it now. I'm past 150,000 damage. I can sail away now and wait for those guys to come in. And again, they don't seem to want to help me at all. They're more interested in going for the cap, and I would love to go onto the cap and pick up some more base XP as we land a torpedo on the Colbert. And given that it's just damage controlled a single fire, that is ticking away nicely and adding to the damage total. Now, I do say that damage is not everything in this game, and it most certainly is not in domination, but I am sailing away, keeping a safe distance from that guy, making sure that I've got a good breathing space, because he is fast. But it appears as though the enemy can, or sorry, the rest of the team can see him now and are putting some shots at him. He's damage controlled that fire now, and I did say to Chizz, I wonder what his side armor is like against AP, because I'm not quite sure, but do I really want to get into a gunfight with this guy? And I see that there is a ship there on the left hand side of blue team, but it didn't have line of sight, and we put the shots out there. We get another fire on him, and I'm sure that this one is going to tick him down for damage. Here we go. It's there. He's looking like it's almost dead. I can afford to trade my life for his because we've got this one in the bag. 944 points placed, 343. So let's see if I can just put a little dampener on this guy's ego for what he did to Chizz earlier. But no, our Colbert picks up the kill in the last second. So here are the standings: 180,000 damage, 77 main gun hits, 8 torpedoes. So there was more torpedoes in this one than main guns. So you'll like the other video that I've got because that is all guns. It's bonkers. 3,164 base XP, and even though Chin went out so early, he still beat the Montana. So take some consolation in that. And sorry, Golden Sea 297 at the top of the board there, but I am not going to massage your ego and go one-on-one with you, because that's what children do. So I hope you've enjoyed this game. Stick around and I'll link the next game, which is going to be absolutely guns crazy after this. Don't forget, smash the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so, and if you like the video you can leave a tip as well. Until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.